Iain from RTO here. Welcome to a very sticky Northampton already. It's creeping up to about 16 and it's very early in the morning. It's the best time to record. So it is Ladies' Day. So we're actually the last Tuesday of the month. And today we're going to Canada and Australia for our artists. Firstly, we're going to start off with an album ranking, and it was a viewer's request for Canadian singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Loreena McKennitt, born in 1957. Now she performs world music and she likes Celtic and Middle Eastern influences, which is what I like as well. She's got this soprano voice as well that's unbelievable. And believe it or not, she has sold over 14 million records worldwide. In some respects, I think she's like the Canadian version of Enya in some sort of way, if you get my drift. She's released 10 studio albums, so we're going to have a look at those today. So, coming in at number 10, we have the 8th album from 2008, and it's called A Midwinter Night Dream. Basically, these are Christmas songs that we all know. Holly and the Ivy's on here. Un Flambeau Jeanette. Very traditional. Three Ships is on here. The Seven Rejoices of Mary. Noel Nouvette. Good King Wenceslas is on here. The Coventry Carol is on here as well. And she does a really good version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and a Bell Deli version. Very choral. I like that. Then we have Snow, Brenton Carroll, Seeds of Love, and Gloucestershire Wassail, Emmanuel and In Big Winter. It's not a bad Christmas album, actually. Songs are beautifully arranged, beautifully sung, but there's nothing wrong with it, but it's an album you only put on at Christmas. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in at number 9, we have a second album released in 1987. It's called To Drive the Cold Winter Away, and it pays homage to her childhood memories of the winter season growing up. Again, some very traditional sort of Christmassy songs in the praise of Christmas, the seasons, the King. Banquet Hall, which is one of her own. It does give you that sort of medieval sort of banquet music. It's really good. I like that. We've got Snow again. Bull Lallo is on here. Let Us in the Infant Greet. The Rexford Carol. The Stockford Carol, which is one of hers. It's some lovely harp playing. She can play the harp very well. It's a lovely track. And then we have Let All That Are Mirth Inclined. Another very good Christmassy album. Very wintry, but it's very strange listening to this when it's not Christmas, but I do like it. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, then coming in at number 8, we go to 2010 for the 9th album, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. Starts off with a traditional song called As I Roved Out. Beautiful vocals, very Celtic, very Enya. I'd say it's a very good song. One on a bright May morning, another traditional song. I love how she takes traditional songs and just brings them to life. It's a wonderful little track, that is. Lovely vocally on there as well. Brian Burroughs' March, an instrumental. The highlight of this is the Irish drums. I love Irish drums. It's a wonderful track. Down by Sally Gardens. Now the lyrics to this are written by W.B. Yeats. Nice way to interpret the words of W.B. Yeats. Really good. The start of County Down, excuse me, heard this last week when we're going to hear this song again this week. But it's a song about County Down, and it mentions a place called Bainbridge, which I know very well because County Down is where Mastermind Dave is from. It's a really nice song. Then we have The Wind That Shakes the Barley, a very traditional song, lyrics written by Robert Joyce. It's a bit political, but it's a wonderful song. I don't care about politics, but I just love the song. The Death of Queen Jane. So it's actually a song written about King Henry VIII's third wife, Jane Seymour, who sadly passed away after giving birth to the future king, King Edward IV. It's lovely words. It just tells the story. The immigration tunes, nice instrumental, real Celtic feel. I like that. The Parting Glass, another traditional song. It's just a nice tune. Another pleasant album, very relaxing, like most of these are. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just really good music. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Coming in at number 7, we have the 10th album from 2018, the most current album, and it's called Lost Souls. Now, one of the tracks on here, The Ballad of Fox Hunter, is an adaptation of a poem by, again, W.B. Yeats. And La Belle de Saint Merci is an adaptation of a poem by John Keats. So the first track is called Spanish Guitars and Night Piazzas. A lovely vocal from Loreena, and you get this Spanish guitar in it. It's really good. 100 Wishes. There's a nice combination here of piano and acoustic guitar. It's so relaxing. Ages Past, Ages Hence. It goes on a little bit too long. It's 5.5 minutes. Cut it back a bit, and it'd be a lot better. You just sort of lose a little bit of it at the end. The Ballad of the Fox Hunter. It's all about foxes, and I'm fox hunting, and I'm not. It's something that I don't like, so I weren't too keen on that. Manx Aya, strange percussion is really good. And then we have my favourite on here, putting words to John Yeats' poems, which is interesting, isn't it? Very clever house. John Keats, sorry. Oh dear, my throat. And it's really nice. It's really put together. The music is arranged by Loreena. Very good. Then we get Sun, Moon, and Stars. It's instrumental. Again, that wonderful Celtic sound. Breaking of the Sword, mixture of Iranian pipes and horns, really good. Lost Souls, great little track again, wonderful vocal. Great track to end the album with. Now, if this is to be Loreena's last album, it's not a bad way to go out, is it? It's a pretty good album, and I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.2. Just bear with me, folks. Right. Coming in at number 6 is the debut album from 1985, and it's called Elemental. We got Carrick Fergus is sung by Cedric Smith, and Lullaby uses the words of a William Blake poem. Blacksmith is a traditional song. Like most of these traditional songs, it's a very story-telling song about a blacksmith. Nice harp in this, really nice. She Moved Through the Fair, which is written by Padraig Colum. Wonderful lyric, and the songbird in the background is wonderful. Stolen Child. This is W.B. Yeats again. Very clever how she's put a lovely piece of music to a wonderful poem. The Lark in the Clear Air, another traditional song. Really nice instrumental, some wonderful harp playing on that one. Then we have Carrick Fergus. Now, I've heard lots of versions of this, and this is a good version. It involves this Cedric Smith doing the vocals. Excellent little track. Kells Water. I've heard this before. It's not a bad song, and it's a good version of it. Banks of the Claudie. Some lovely playing on this. Nice lyric, excellent track. Come by the Hills. My favourite track on here, it's a very short piece of music, but it's just, you just get lost in its ambience. Lullaby. It's a very good interpretation. The poem is actually read by Douglas Campbell, who performs it really well. Very good debut album. You know, to take these poems and put music to them is very clever. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, then coming in at number 5, I've got the 4th album from 1991, and it's called The Visit. First song in here is my favourite on here. It's probably one of my favourites by Loreena, and it's called All Souls Night. I like that mixture of sort of medieval Renaissance music, and then you get this sort of Middle Eastern sort of fusion. It's a brilliant track. Then we have Bonnie Portmore. I've heard this so many times. It's a very traditional sort of folk song. It's got that Celtic file to it. Definitely Celtic sound. I love it. It's wonderful. Between the Shadows. This is very, what would I say? The Dark Ages of England. It's got that sort of feel to it. Jesters and people sitting at tables, having a banquet, etc. The Lady of Shalott, which is adapted from a Alfred Lord Tennyson poem. It's 11 minutes long, and it's too long. Not very keen on this. Then she does her version of Greensleeves, of course, allegedly written by King Henry VIII, and it's not a bad version. Tango to Europa, love the violin on here and the Spanish guitar. Excellent little track. Courtyard Lullaby, eerie this is, so dramatic, and it's a real strong vocal from Loreena. The Old Ways, back to the sort of Celtic feel with some lovely harp playing from Loreena. Wonderful track. Cymbeline, yes, it is the Shakespeare sonnet, and she's put music to it, and it's wonderful. Gives it that sort of feel from the period as well. I think this lady, again, it's a very consistent album. Got some really strong tracks on it. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.4. Okay, coming in at number 4, we've got the 5th album from 1994, and it's called The Mask and the Mirror. First track on this one is called The Mystic's Dream. It's got a little bit of Gregorian chant on this, which actually is wonderful. It caught me hook, line and sinker because I love tracks like that. Pretty good track. Then we have the Bonnie Swans, which is a traditional tune. I've heard this so many times by other people, but Loreena's vocals on it, just a stunning, absolutely stunning track. The Dark Night of the Soul, lyrics by St. John of the Cross. Nice song, but it goes on a bit, 6 minutes. It's a bit monotonous in places. Then we have Marrakesh Night Market. Now, my favourite track on here. Now, I think I love this because having been to Marrakesh myself and been around that market, it was so many different sounds and sights and smells, and this piece of music really captures it. I think if it weren't that I'd been there, I think, oh, this is long, but it does capture some fond memories of going around the market at night. Full Circle, really nice, daunting vocals and a lovely track. Santiago, a traditional song. It's a combination of Spanish and Celtic music. Wonderful. See He Mize. No, I'm not going to pronounce that. I'll put it up on the screen instead. And then it's the Two Trees. It's a bit long. It's a bit of a mishmash track, that is. Not one of my favourites. Prospero's Speech, yes, from William Shakespeare. Prospero's Speech from The Tempest, of course. And she takes the speech and she puts a bit of wonderful music to it, and she does a great performance. Very good album, couple of oddballs, but there are so many good stuff on here, and I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 3, from 1989, it's the third album, Parallel Dreams. First track is called Samian Night, a wonderful dreamy sort of track, lovely lyric delivery from Loreena. Moon Cradle, strong lyric, very good vocals from Loreena. Huron, Beltane, Fire Dance. I love the Celtic drums on this one. Really good. And then we got An Archie Gordon. It's a nice song, but again it's 8 minutes long and it sort of loses itself towards the end. Standing Stones, another traditional song. I love the use of the Ulanien pipes on this. It's a wonderful piece of music. Dickens Dublin, I love the children's narration on this, really adds to it. My favourite track on here is a thing called Breaking the Silence. It's really eerie and daunting, and that's what I love about it. And the last track is called Ancient Pines, another stunning vocal from Loreena. She really brings heart and soul to these songs. Brilliant album. Okay, well, there's one track that gets a little bit monotonous in places, but on the whole I love this, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, then coming in at number 2, we've got the 7th album from 2006, and it's called An Ancient Muse. The first track is called Incantation. It's a stunning vocal from Loreena. Very short piece, but it's so stunning. Up next is The Gates of Istanbul. Certainly got that mystique sort of crossover of European Middle East feel to it. It's a great vocal as well. Then we have Caravanserai, another really upbeat tempo, a wonderful mixture of modern music with traditional sort of instruments. Sorry, I've got a real sore throat. Then we have the English Lady and the Night, lyrics by Sir Walter Scott. Another really moving piece. I love how she just, again, takes these lyric poems and pieces and puts music to them. It's a wonderful bit. There's a lovely choral bit in this. It's really good. Now, my favourite track is called Ketcher Writ to Me. It's a great sort of combination of Celtic and Middle Eastern tones, a really good fusion track. Penelope's song is dominated by Loreena's strong vocal with a lovely piano accompanying her. Then we have Sacred Shabbat. I do love it when she does these mixtures of different cultures' music. It starts off with the Middle East, goes into some European and into Celtic. Very, very good track. Beneath the Phrygian Sky. I think this is a wonderful track. It's a long track. But what makes it engaging is it's in different movements. It starts off gentle, then the beat picks up, and then it goes back to a gentle. It's a really strong track. Never Ending Road, a dramatic. After the dramatic Phrygian Sky, we have this sort of soft track with a lovely vocal, and that was the last track. Fabulous album. I like it because of its different cultures of fusion of music. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. But my favourite album by Loreena McKennitt is an album that was released in 1997, and it's her 6th album, and it's called The Book of Secrets. The track Prologue, it reminds me so much of Clannad. Wonderful harmony vocals, just a wonderful sound. The Murmurs Dance. Once again, we have got a fusion of Eastern and European music, and she's done it so well. It's really good. Love that track. Then we have a track called Skellig, very Celtic. The strings, it just makes you think of green fields. Really good. Then we have a track called Marco Polo. This has got that real Middle Eastern sort of feel to it. It sounds like it could be in the desert somewhere. It's a strong vocal from Loreena as well. Then we have a real epic, and it's a long track, but it's a wonderful thing called The Highwayman. Now, I love the stories of Highwayman and Dick Turpin, and this is just a song all about Highwayman. The delivery of the lyric is important, and that's that it draws you into the song. It's a wonderful piece. Then we have Loreena Missa. Just one of them wonderful instrumental things. Some lovely harp playing from Loreena on that. Night Ride Across the Carus. Again, we got a fusion of Celtic and Middle Eastern music, wonderfully done. Dante's Prayer. It's a wonderful end to the album. It's a longer track, but it's got some lovely strings and stunning piano and a beautiful vocal from Loreena. Another album that is so diverse in culture, musical styles, a combination of them. I really like this. It's just full of wonderful music. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.2. So there we go. I mean, I hadn't really dived into Loreena McKennitt. I've heard of her and I've heard one or two of her bits, but it's been thoroughly enjoyable. And it just reminds me of, you know, Clannad and Enya. It's in that vein. Okay, coming up next on Ladies' Day, we have got Retro Ranking, and today we're going to have a look at some songs by Australian singer, actress, TV show presenter, Delta Goodrem. So join for that later. Bye for now.